Therefore I Am by Anthony Yescas.
Yeah. Am I real? If so, who am I?
Of course you're real, silly. Look at you.
Wait, where do you come from? I was just alone.
You're never alone, and I've always been here. Can't you feel me?
What do you mean?
We feel the same thing. In every moment, we experience the same thing. We experience life.
Really? What's life when I don't even know who I am?
Life is an experience of thoughts, questions, and answers, being while you feel pleasure, pain, joy, and sorrow every moment within each moment. And you have your whole life to figure out who you are.
If life is an experience, like you say, full of moments within each moment, then how long is this thing called life?
That's the thing. Our life is but a moment, so enjoy it while it lasts.
What? No, that makes no sense.
See there? Right there? You just experienced life. You're doing it without even noticing it.
What do you mean?
Notice how you're feeling now compared to a few moments ago. That's the experience of life. Always changing, never the same. Yet each life is the same.
But how? How can the experience of life always be changing, but each life is the same?
Now you're catching on.
Is he? I think he's confused by a lie and lost in it all.
What the who are you? Where did you come from? This isn't cool.
Look, life cannot exist without constant change. And without it, life would not be capable to experience. Each life is the same because they are all equal to one another, no matter the experience they are.
So life is to be in chaos or constant change. Then what's the point of it?
The point of life is to experience, grow, and evolve into who you want to be.
Really? So I can be whoever I want to be?
No, you can only be you, but you can be anything you want to be.
Okay. Okay, I think I understand. I am who I am. But who I am can be anything I want to be.
See, like I said, he is confused and lost in a lie and doesn't even realize it. Why would you mislead him?
Hey, it's not a lie, and I'm not misleading him.
Wait, hold on. Lie, mislead. What's he talking about?
Nothing. Don't listen to him.
Tell him the truth or I will.
Truth about what? What's going on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No? Fine, then I'll tell him the truth. Look, kid, life is a lie. Well, more like a dream.
Like a lullaby?
Yep. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Look around. What do you see?
Well, I guess I see nothing.
Sweetie, look, I'm here with you and him.
Really? Kid, listen. She is telling you the truth, but only in part.
What do you mean?
Life is an experience, yes, but it's also a lie. We are but a moment, like a passing thought. We are but a thought in God's mind.
But I think. Does that make me a god as well?
Not quite. You must achieve Godhood through evolution of self and mind.
So how do I do that?
By reflecting on yourself, your thought, desires, and goal through deep meditation.
Yeah?
While being present, living in the moment, and constantly mindful of yourself and everything else at all times.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. But life's too short for that. Just enjoy it while it lasts.
You can do both. That's the point of mindfulness.
End of play.
Finding Out by Edward Allen. Act 3, Scene 1. The characters are Leo, a 53-year-old Vietnam vet in AA recovery. Gus, a 53-year-old sponsor in AA for Leo. And Laura, a 50-year-old ex-wife of Gus. The setting is 2009, early January, 3 p.m. at Scripps Hospital in San Diego. Gus's room. Leo has just arrived and finds Laura already there. At Rise, Leo greets Gus.
Hey guys, what's the fuss? And who might this be?
Leo, what are you doing here? This is Laura, ex-wife, Matt's mother.
Hello, Leo. I've heard a lot about you. Nice to meet the face behind the name.
Pleasure's mine, as I know nothing about you.
Fine. Now we can move on. I don't have much time. The orderly will be here soon.
What orderly? Is there something you're not telling me?
How did you find out he's in the hospital?
Heard it on the AA grapevine.
My story is in the grapevine.
No, not that grapevine. The sponsor grapevine.
So much for anonymity.
Trust me, Gus, nothing about you is anonymous. Since you've sponsored half of Orange and San Diego County.
Yes, I know. Leo's the only one who stayed sober out of all of them.
Not true, Gus. We have stayed sober. Remember? The us? We didn't do this alone.
True. I did say you were no longer alone.
All right, Gus, I'm going to step out of the room. You two need to discuss this without me.
All right. Can't avoid it anymore, Leo. I got brain cancer. No pain yet. But I'm getting taken up to surgery in about 10 minutes. Just listen, please. Keep quiet, no questions. Are you hearing me?
Yes. I'm all ears.
Okay, Leo, old friend. I'm not going to make it. There's no hope of surgery working. So they're implanting radiation pellets in my head to see if it will help. I'm really glad you came down to see me. It means a lot.
Cancer? Jeez, Gus. I didn't know. Well, I'm not going to let you go through this alone.
Ah, stop it. I need you to listen. Promise me you'll stop lying to yourself. I've been nothing but honest with you. 2 failed marriages, no successful relationships other than ours. You might want to find some new friends.
What are you talking about?
You. I'm talking about you.
Me? You're the one in the bed.
Yeah. And I'm not going to be around much more.
He gathers the hospital gown around himself.
Don't be looking at my butt.
I'm not looking. Get back in the bed. This is not funny.
Yes, it is. Come here. I need a hug.
A hug? From me? Why?
For me, not you.
Gus grabs Leo in a bear hug.
Love you, man. Always have. You need to love yourself, too.
I love you too, Gus. What are you trying to say?
Leo, my dear old friend, I'm dying. I really, really need to know the truth before I go.
Go? You're not going anywhere.
Stop. You have got to be honest with God, yourself, and one other me.
What truth?
Your truth, Leo. Have you faced the mirror yet? Take a good long look.
Gus holds up a shaving mirror.
What do you see?
Nothing. What are you up to?
That's the problem. You don't see yourself. Remember, Leo, denial is not a river in Egypt. It'll kill you.
Egypt? What are you saying? You're going to Egypt?
Stop changing the subject. You know very well what I'm saying. Just say it. I want you to be happy and sober.
I am sober. 23 years, like you.
Find new friends in the fellowship, like maybe the men's stag.
You're not talking about that gay meeting, are you?
Yep, that's the one. You can help others there.
But I'm not gay.
Really? Then you're the last one to figure it out. Those guys can help you figure it out. They'll even help you get over your fear of intimacy and being touched.
Now you're freaking me out. How would they do that?
Just show up next Thursday night. Volunteer to be a greeter.
A greeter? What the heck is that?
Well, you stand at the door and you greet everyone that walks in with a hug. Don't worry. There'll be no women. Trust me. You'll be fine.
The door opens and Laura and an Early wheel in a gurney to take Gus to surgery. End of scene 1. Scene 2, we have Leo and Gus 1 week later in the same hospital room. Gus is in the bed. Leo has entered the room, takes one look at Gus and starts to cry.
Hello, Leo. Oh, stop blubbering. I'm not dead yet.
You look horrible. You're so thin. Jeez, Gus, I'm so sorry.
Sorry for what? I'm dying. That's honest truth. Something you seem to be incapable of understanding.
Don't give that rigorous honesty. I wish you had more time.
We don't, so stop the wishful thinking. Did you get to the men's stag meeting?
Yes, I was very uncomfortable.
Well, that's more like it. You've been uncomfortable in your own skin for too long. Time to shed that skin.
Like the snake? Ew.
A snake sheds its skin so it can grow. Staying in the old skin would kill it, just like your old skin is killing you.
I don't understand what you're saying. Why must I shed my skin?
Because that is what keeps you lonely and unhappy. I may be dying, but I'm happy in my own skin.
Happy? How can you be happy when you're dying?
Because I've lived a good life. Since I got sober and honest with myself, God, and one other person.
So you're telling me that I'm unhappy because I'm not honest?
Yes. Finally, you're finding out who you really are. Did you meet someone who might want to get to know you better at the meeting?
Yes. Matter of fact, I did. His name is John. Nice fella. Seems happy all the time.
Good. Now you see, there are gay men who are happy being gay.
Yeah, but...
No, yeah, but. Tell me you didn't laugh a lot at the meeting. Tell me you didn't like the hugs.
No. I was uncomfortable with the hugs, but I did laugh. I didn't have a good time, I must say. I had more in common with these guys.
Great. Well, keep going back until you're comfortable in your skin by being, and let someone get to know you.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. We have Leo and John, a 46-year-old gay friend of Leo. 2 months have passed. Leo and John are at John's coffee shop after an AA meeting. They are sitting across from each other, drinking coffee.
I really want to thank you for reaching out to me these past few months. It's been really difficult since Gus died.
Well, as the saying goes, never have to be alone if you don't want to. Tell me about Gus. Was he gay too?
Certainly not. Far from it. He was a skirt chaser, even after we got sober. He was my mentor and friend. Honest, to the point of being annoying. I regret that I failed to live up to his honesty.
What do you mean? Did you lie to him?
No, I just was not truthfully honest about myself. I think it had something to do with trust.
You didn't trust him? Why not? He sounds like a trustworthy friend. You trust me, don't you?
Yes, I trust you. Just that I didn't trust myself to be truthful with Gus. I feared he would reject me and everything I am.
Why? Who are you? I'm not following you.
Suffice to say, he always knew me better than I knew myself. Started 40 years ago when we were freshmen in school. That's when he said that he thought I was gay, or back then, a different word for it.
Jeez. I was only 6 years old then. Known each other that long? Why did he think you were gay?
Yes, many years apart. Me to Vietnam, him to marriage and parenting. We lost track for about 20 years. I'm not so sure he said I was gay, it's just that he thought so. And he liked me anyway.
What happened that brought you two back together?
My first AA meeting back in '86, Gus was the leader of the meeting. And my sister had insisted I go too.
Don't tell me you were trying to be someone who was still closeted? Why? Who cares?
I care. I'm the one who lied for all those years. Even got married, I had a son, but the marriage did not last. I had so much trouble drinking and drugs and hiding myself from everyone.
Well, I'm glad you stopped hiding and got out of the closet. You probably needed the room for more shoes.
Shut up. I only have 35 pairs of shoes.
Oh.
I just wish I had had more time with Gus to finally tell him the truth.
Sounds to me like he already knew, and he had for a long time. I think he really loved you long enough to help you love you.
I never thought of that. Perhaps you're right. It seems that I'm just now finding that out.
About time. Guess old Gus is smiling now. How about that? It only took 40 years for you to get real.
Yes, I suppose I have missed a lot. But now that I'm out, I can stop finding out if I'm gay and just be me. Thanks, Gus.
End of play.
Cameta by Lavell, Frierson. Scene 1. Characters are Mr. J.W. Klein, a landowner, and Mr. Uncle Bus, a retired sharecropper, 85 years old, and Mr. Klein is 80 years old. This is summer, August 1st, 1970, Sharkey County, Mississippi. Uncle Bus and Mr. Klein are standing on the front lawn of the Old Slave Negro Church under an old southern shade tree. At Rise, Uncle Bus is raking leaves as Mr. Klein pulls up and gets out of his Ford pickup.
Hey there, Mr. Bus. Come here, boy. I got something I need to talk to you about.
Well, hey there. Good morning, Mr. Klein. What did you say?
Yeah, boy. I need to speak to you about that old Cameta cemetery. It is very important. So let's just come over here. Let us sit and talk under this here shade tree.
Yes, sir, Mr. Klein. Now, what did you say about that old Negro cemetery?
Well, as you know, my brother Jack died, and, well, Jack left me all this land. That is what I need to speak with you about. Well, you see, that got me to thinking. Oh, I'm no farmer. As you know, I left this land early in life, got a good education in New York, made my good life for my family and myself, so I don't have much use for the land. So that got me to thinking maybe I ought to sell it. I talked to this big land developer up north, New York City, took an interest in it.
Sir, now that you mention it, I did see about a week and some days ago some strange looking city folks snooping around here. So I guess is the folks you're talking about. I did see them huddling around their cemetery a bit long.
Well, you see, boy, I was thinking we can uproot and relocate the old church and cemetery intact by a professional work crew. I'll hire and oversee, move to a piece of fine, fertile land around here that I own.
Well, now, Mr. Klein, to be honest with you, I don't think I can rightly go along with that, sir. Because you see, all my kinfolks lay resting in that there Cameta graveyard, going all the way back to my great-granddaddy. That old African was the first to lay there in Cameta, alone by himself for some years, way back when it was called Weeping Willow, before it was Cameta. Well, now, Mr. Klein, sir, that all sounds fine and dandy, but you see, sir, this land is very important to me and my folks. Very meaningful. A lot of history and memories lay there in Cameta. Because all my folks, even my own children, are resting in Cameta. My family worked this land here well over 150 plus years. So you see, sir, it wouldn't be right to move Cameta. It just ain't right. So you see, sir, I declined your offer.
Well, now, wait a minute now, boy. Our families go way back. Your family's the oldest family on this land. My family's always been good to yours and treated them with kindness, even as far back as the 1860s. That nasty, bloody Civil War that torn families apart. The families were separated, kidnapped, forced to the front lines to fight with and for the Confederate rebels, while your family was kept here on the land, safe and intact from harm. Now hear me, boy. You yourself personally, remember that great mean flood of 1927 came through here in the Delta, flooding, destroying all crops and killing all livestock, everything that wasn't on high ground? See now, boy, it was my family who provided your family with fresh livestock and seeds to plant to start anew. We have a lot of goodwill built up between our families. So much so, you got to work with me on this land deal. It'll be worth it to you. The developers won't close the deal while the cemetery is on the land. Now, what I was thinking was, I'll let you and your great-nephew, Honey Boy, settle down on that land with a little monetary compensation. Now, listen, that land is big enough for you and Honey Boy to settle down on and plant some crops. Hell, boy, both of you can make a damn good living. That land got plenty of fresh running water. Hell, it even has electricity. You wouldn't have to use those old kerosene lamps. Honey Boy's got a large family. It'd be perfect for them all. Hell, even rent-free.
Mr. Klein, sir, I listened to what you've said. Some things are just more important than money. I've always been poor materialistically, but I was blessed to have experience and endure the love of family. I was given and blessed to have been a living, loving part of all those who have gone to the other side before me, resting in Cameta. It's out of that some love of family and respect I experience and continue to. I decline your offer, sir.
End of scene 1. Scene 2, we have Mr. Klein, Mr. Uncle Bus. We'll meet Honey Boy, who is 45 years old and a farmer. And the lawyer is also in this scene. Setting is 4 days later. Inside Cameta Cemetery, Mr. Klein has brought in a crew of workmen to exhume the graves for relocation.
Listen up, boys. Bring in all the machinery. Now, this is a 150 plus year old cemetery. Don't miss or overlook any grave plots. Every plot that you see, exhume it. Move it over there onto those flatbed trucks.
Honey Boy and Uncle Bus run up to Mr. Klein with the court order injunction papers in hand, with the lawyer coming right up behind Uncle Bus.
Hold on there, Mr. Klein, sir. I got right here in my hand the proper papers for you and your crew to cease all operation right here in on Cameta Cemetery.
That's right, Mr. Klein. I'm his lawyer. And there, in these here papers, is a court order injunction signed by Madison County Superior Court Judge C.J. Dickens, which takes effect 10 a.m. August 5th, 1970. I suggest you and your grave robbing crew cease operations now, pack up your machinery, and leave at this hour. You're in violation of this court order injunction.
Look here now, boy. Just let me take a look at them there papers.
Mr. Klein grabs the court order injunction papers.
Now look here, boy, this is my property, and I'll do what I damn well please with it. Boy, I am somebody around these parts. I'll make sure that you won't get away with this, you hear?
End of scene 2. Scene 3, we have Charles Henry, that's the lawyer, civil rights lawyer, 60 years old. We have C.J. Dickens, the judge, and we are also going to have the characters from before will be in the courtroom, Mr. Klein, Mr. Uncle Bus, and Honey Boy. This is 3 days later inside Madison County Superior Courthouse in front of presiding judge C.J. Dickens at 9 a.m. August 8th, 1970 in courtroom 7. At Rise, Mr. Henry, the civil rights attorney, is addressing the courtroom full of spectators waiting in suspense for the judge's ruling.
Your Honor, please allow me to establish some very important historic facts that are material.
You may do so.
This slave and free Negro cemetery was established way back in 1822, along with the plantation name called Weeping Willow. The name Weeping Willow came from the weeping willow trees that cover large areas of this massive 5,000 acreage plantation. In 1832, the owner of the plantation himself later became a captain in the Confederacy Rebel Army, commanded fighting troops against the Union Army, lost a major historic last stand battle in Vicksburg Military Park in 1863. He changed the name from Weeping Willow to Cameta after the birth of his first and only child, daughter. He named Cameta in 1832. The slave-free Negro cemetery has been in existence, official, along with the plantation name Cameta, since 1832, Your Honor. We would like to submit into the court record documents establishing this historic fact. Also, Your Honor, we would like to submit recorded documents from Sharkey County Hall of Records, copy of a bill of sale of the very first slave brought to Weeping Willow in 1822, who was Uncle Bus' great-granddaddy, and which established Uncle Bus and his great-nephew, Honey Boy, as direct living descendants of that first slave to rest in that Cameta cemetery.
Let the record reflect the recorded documents may be submitted into the record as factual evidence to these facts. Support of this matter. Proceed.
Thank you. Your Honor, most, if not all, of Uncle Bus's family and relatives are resting in Cameta. It's one of many historic separation by race, Jim Crow cemetery, that is a shameful but deeply important part of our country's racial history of America. Our past have meaning. It has lessons and teachable and insightful for all of us today. And further, without a past, we don't know where we've been and where we are going. And Your Honor, out of respect for the 150 plus years of history and existence of the historical separation of race, all slave and free Black cemetery, Jim Crow law, with the recorded documents, we are respectfully requesting today that you rule and deem this Cameta cemetery in Sharkey County, Mississippi, an eminent domain property, declaring Cameta a historic landmark site.
Mr. Klein, you hear all that's been said here today. What's your opinion about all of this?
Well, Your Honor, this all makes perfect sense to me now that it's explained that way. Now I'm inclined to agree with these proceedings, but how am I to be made happy?
Well, Mr. Klein, by this land being deemed a historic site under law of eminent domain, this means that the state will have no other course of action but to compensate you for this property. And as this being so, all the proceeds minus taxes you see will be all yours.
Thank you, Your Honor.
End of play.
Autognosis by David M. David. Scene 2. M. Thalia, my outrage-tempered sarcasm. Mudlark, my pen remembered, an imaginary tool of creation. Setting, a pitch-black 4x4 room with the 6-inch drain hole in the very center. At rise, I am sitting in a corner looking in the direction which I have, through geotemporal ruminations, convinced myself the door lay. I am imagining that I am an artist who can be heard by an audience of a socially conscious, aware public. I am naked and very wrongly and despicably filthy.
One must have patience, my dear. Good things come to those who wait. It is far better to have patience than to be one.
This is an outrage. I don't know how you expect me to work under these conditions.
One must put their best foot forward, mustn't one? One has lemon, one makes lemonade. The proof is in the pudding. 4 and 20 is plenty. And how that bird can sing.
Well, they seized my dictionary then and explained to me how this is not hell. A demon gave me volume 2 of the Oxford Dictionary, moral to Zizzis. How am I supposed to compose a rose with that?
Zizzis.
Yes, Zizzis, the very last word in the Oxford. Literally, the sound a fly makes as it flies past the observer due to the Doppler effect. They seized all of my pens for Eos's sake.
At least we have been able to communicate a splendiferous tone, to be sure.
Yes, of course, yet written on toilet paper roll wrapper with ink composed of parts of my own blood and fixated in the dark like a moonstruck medieval monkish scribe sans tallow. And who's to say that guard actually mailed it? He was a shady character, if ever one was, and we've heard no word's confirmation now, have we?
Oh, such dark thoughts, figurations of despair, nexus of conspiracy's lair. Woe, mediant darkness, death. Give necrobiosis rest.
And so were I to unfold a line supine, a brother bold, aspiration of conscious, some obscure meaning for then a moment to hold, a for whimsy controlled, action stop, there be no meaning in an unread tale I told.
And yet the tale is in the telling. Scream thee to the deaf, while the blind still tears weep.
Oh, woe that in mask would lend an ear and substance reveal the denied of men's frivolous fear of motion and darkness, phantasmagorically there.
See that the powers that be, keeping thee in the dark, have not persuaded thy lark.
Ophidian tryst, obfuscatious mist, depraved rage of this another moment of anima mist. In opaque love I've kissed the memory of heartless seclusionists, and now in the end the fabric of space-time twists no notion of temporal regrets.
Life be refrangible and endure even now in the midst of this.
And yet to what end? A larger cage, perhaps? A mere semblance of freedom? Chained to social constructions designed by a more qualified mind than mine? Violence, impaired subjugation at the very essence of my destination, we must corrupt imprisoned time.
Then what be the meaning of this?
It be utterly meaningless. It means only what it is made of it, what you make of it. To endure for a while longer, perhaps all meaning be cast asunder. Violence for the sake of violence, open the weak and ignorant, the training of fodder.
Thou thinkest too much.
Or simply not enough. Of imposition, a slave of monetary crime.
End of scene.
This is a play by Louis DiBernardo, and this is scene 1. The characters are Rock, hard-headed, rude, cruel, and prejudiced, and Mr. L, a wise and kind elephant. We'll also meet PP, proud peacock, vain and self-righteous, and Ms. G, a tough, hostile, and direct gorilla. The setting is a narrow road cutting through a mountain. This is a popular pass between two valleys. At Rise, Mr. L is walking up to Rock, who has just tumbled down onto the road and is blocking it.
Hey, Rock, are you okay? That was a mighty long tumble and fall you just had.
Wow, what just happened? Where am I? 1 minute I'm with my friends at home on my dad's mountain, and the next minute I'm tumbling down and bam! Who are you and what's going on?
I'm Mr. L. We just had a small earthquake. I saw you tumbling and landing right in the middle of the road. Hope you're not hurting anyway, are you?
Everything is still spinning. I'm so dizzy.
If you want, I can stay here and help. Are you aware that you are sitting on the main thoroughfare and blocking travelers? If you'd like, I can lift you up, set you at the base of your mountain home. This is a busy road between the two valleys.
Nah, I can figure it out. I can take care of myself. I don't need anyone's help. Now, if you don't mind, just leave me alone.
Okay, little guy. If that's the way you prefer to handle this, then so be it.
Mr. L leaves as proud peacock walks up.
Hey, Rock, what do you think you're doing sitting here in the middle of the road? You're blocking me from getting to the valley below. Mr. L could have helped you. What are you thinking?
First off, this is not your road. This is my dad's mountain, and you are trespassing. You need to turn around and find another way to the valley.
Are you nuts? You can't just claim this road as yours. I've been traveling this road for decades. Now, you need to move before you get into some serious trouble.
Look, Bird Brain, I told you find another way around. Beat it.
You are nuts. Who do you think you are calling bird brains? I am one of the most intelligent and beautiful beings in this valley. I'm treated with respect because everyone is envious of my plumes and colors. What is wrong with you? You must have sand for brain. Now, move out of the way.
Hey, Bird, I don't care how much you love yourself and people think you're all that. I know self-righteousness when I see it. You're interrupting my rest. Now beat it or I'll dust you.
Why, you lazy, hard-headed fool. I am going to tell my friends what a fool you are and have them move you out of the way. You'll see. And while I'm at it, I might just fly over and leave a deposit on that thick, hard head of yours.
PP exits.
Good riddance. That bird brain is so full of herself. My dad, Mr. Mountain, told me about characters like this and how inferior they are to us. They're at the bottom of the chain in this world. No value and no merit to respect compared to a mighty mountain and rocks of this world. Now I'm learning to hate how different they are. They have a lot of nerve trespassing and then complaining. They need to stay where they are and leave us alone.
Ms. G.
Excuse me. Hello. Can you hear me? I'm talking to you.
Oh, great, a talking monkey. What's next?
Who you calling a monkey? Why, you foul-mouthed, hard-headed thing. You need to move that carcass of yours off this road so I can get by. I need to deliver this basket of food to my friends who are expecting me, and I'm already late.
Like I care. This is my spot, and I'm not moving for you or anyone. Now go find another way and leave me alone.
Boy, are you asking for trouble. I was born of the king of beasts. We are more powerful than you can even imagine. We are majestic creatures. We rule the forests. How ignorant of you to not understand those facts. You are so hard-headed and smug that you don't even know the difference between monkeys and gorillas. And if you do, then how prejudiced can you be? You've been hiding in your own world under the influence of Mr. Mountain. You haven't learned how to be kind or to accept others and coexist with us. I'd feel sorry for you if you weren't such a jerk.
And look, lady, an overgrown monkey like you can just climb over me without any trouble. So just do it and be on your way already.
What? You must be insane to talk that way. I'm gonna pick up that large log over there and crack that thing right over that hard, ignorant head of yours.
Leave me alone. I'm not moving for you or anyone.
Miss G climbs over the rock and looks back.
You haven't heard the last of me. I'll be back with my like-minded friends, and you'll be sorry you messed with me.
That's right, leave. I'm not afraid of your kind. Keep going. That's right. Go back to where you came from. You don't belong here. I don't need any lessons from you or anyone else. We are nothing like you. I don't have any desire to become like you. Now go, monkey.
End of scene 1.
Serimsipity, The Empire of the Ants by Vassar Will Smith. Scene 1, we have Bast Tadlock, 40-year-old colonel and emissary of the Sidran Empire. In Quantorum, a small, gray, super-intelligent, genetically engineered telepathic alien. The setting is the tropical island of Resegadum on the planet Altair IV in the 25th century. Bast and Quantorum are slogging through a maze of underground tunnels to meet with the Serimsip to finalize a trade treaty.
Boy, it stinks in here. I thought that stream flowing down the middle of the tunnel was polluted water. Well, it's not even water, but some reeking chemical.
I have no olfactory senses, but my instruments detect a strong presence of formic acid. We must be approaching the realm of the Serimsip. Their emissary should be meeting us soon.
Yeah. On your advice, I left my ray pistol back at the ship, came unarmed. You really think we'll be safe?
Affirmative. Serimsip look ferocious, but they usually eat only vegetables and smaller insects. Besides, they want to do business with us, to trade honey, wax, and amber for consumer goods and non-military technology. Our Sidran Emperor has even offered us a share of the profits if our mission succeeds.
I know. Also, you told me that they're telepathic with one another and you, but also communicate through tweedling and palimphasia, as well as through regular speech with us. Should we know anything else?
Yes. Unless others address you, speak only to Prime Minister Cirque. Try to avoid Prince Consort Tomic altogether, because he, like all males of their species, is insane.
Insane? How so?
Schizoid bipolar. 1 minute he'll be effusively friendly and cheerful. The next he'll be irrationally hostile and suspicious. In either mood he could cause problems. Let the Queen or Prime Minister deal with him.
Remind me how they communicate?
Besides telepathy, regular speech, and palimphasia, sometimes they tweedle, i.e., they twirl their forelegs around their antenna and emit sounds. A high E shows pleasure or excitement. A low O shows anger or displeasure. A long OO shows weariness or boredom.
Okay, I understand. To say, aren't we lucky? The rocks around us are phosphorescent. We don't even need to use our flashlights. Look, here comes a giant ant.
Cirque enters from stage left.
Greetings and revelations, Your Excellence. You must be Bass and Quantorum. I am Prime Minister Cirque. Like most of us, I have no gender. Queen Harem, it is our mother and great lady. The drones pleasure her and fertilize her eggs, but otherwise are completely useless.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. We have Hiram, the queen of the Serimsipity, Fennec, her current drone and prince consort, as well as Bast and Quantorum. The setting is a giant underground chamber of phosphorescent rock, the throne room of the queen of the Serimsipity hive. At rise, Hiram and on her throne looks anxious and wary. Fennec, standing behind her and looking over her shoulder, tries to comfort her.
Oh, my baby, my love. If I had known that fertilizing your eggs 5 days ago would you made you so tired and out of sorts, I'd never done it. The first 2 days you were ecstatic. Ever since, you've been a grump and a half. Please, baby, tweedling and telepathy give you such a headache in your condition. Just talk to me. Tell Daddy what's the matter.
All right. I'm glad to be pregnant, but carrying all these fertilized eggs is very uncomfortable. Plus, I'm mad at you for making me feel this way. So just sit on your throne and be quiet. Remember, you're just a drone.
Yes, milady.
Cirque enters, followed by Bast and Quantorum.
Your Majesty and Your Highness, I present to you Their Excellence Bass Tweedler and his aide and translator, Quantorum.
Bast and Quantorum bow to the royal couple, who then tweedle a high E in greeting.
What the?
Just bow again like the rest of us. The Queen has expressed her pleasure at meeting us. That's a good sign.
Honored guests and Your Majesty and Highness, today is truly a great day. This treaty with Her Majesty, seal, and Lord Bass' signature will issue in a new age of prosperity. Our peoples will live in peace and friendship. Human Squadron will provide us with non-military technology and a boundless array of delicacies. We, in turn, will give them a commensurate supply of wax, honey, and amber. It's a win-win situation.
Suddenly, Fennec tweedles O and stands up.
Hey, what's the matter with him?
Wait, and Cirque will explain.
His Royal Highness is displeased because no one consulted him about the treaty. No one asked his opinion.
Gee, putos, wow, this. Ooh.
She told him to sit down and be quiet.
Her Majesty is wheezy. Let us retire to the purgatory and drink nectar in honor of our new partnership. The Queen needs her rest. She is expecting tomorrow.
Hey, you. I don't like you staring at my lady like that. She's a beautiful Serimsipity, not some ugly human like you. So watch your manners.
Ooh. Gee, putos. Now this.
Fennec sits down.
1,000 pardons. We won't have these problems tomorrow. Please forget the unpleasantness. Let's just get to celebrating in the refectory.
Sounds good to me. I'm not sure what just went on between Tweedledum and Tweedledummer, but I think we know who's the boss in that family.
End of scene 2. Scene 3 has Bast and Quantorum with Queen Hiram and Prime Minister Cirque. The setting is the throne room of the Serimsipity the next morning. At rise, Queen Hiram is seated majestically on her throne, and Cirque enters, followed by Bast and Quantorum. The Queen greets Bast and Quantorum.
Okay, Quantorum, you're the telepath and translator. What are they twiddling so happy about? And where is Lord Thenick?
The queen is overjoyed because yesterday she laid all her eggs. The larvae are all doing well, and the queen is no longer burdened with the weight of so many eggs. As for Thenick, well, I'd better let Cirque explain.
Your Excellence, our queen is in splendid health and the best of spirits this morning. She laid 4 dozen eggs last night, and all the larvae are hatched and thriving. Besides the joy of motherhood, Her Majesty is pleased by the terms of our negotiation. She wishes to thank you personally. Your Majesty?
Sire Bast and Quantorum, we thank you for your visit and the boons you have offered us. Please convey our thanks and gracious regard to your sovereign, the Sidron Emperor. All is well, yet you look concerned. Is there something on your minds?
Yes, Your Majesty. We note that Lord Thenick is absent. We wonder why he is not seated on his throne at your side today.
You must not know our ways as well as you thought you did. Once the eggs were laid and the larvae hatched, the drone had served his purpose, so I ate him alive today for breakfast. When the larvae take their chrysalis form, I'll replace them with a younger, better-mannered drone for my prince consort. But then, they all lack refinement. Our regrets if he offended you.
Your Majesty, we admit he was difficult to deal with, but wasn't it a bit extreme of you to devour him for his bad manners, bad judgment, and bad taste?
Not at all. There's no question that he had bad manners and showed poor judgment, but you're wrong in saying that he had bad taste. Why, that drone was absolutely delicious.
End of play.
A Necessary Pandemic by Christopher James and Stephen Gonzales. Phil, a contagious virus being held in a secret government laboratory. Gene, an engineered vector who's become part of a vaccination program against Phil. Both agents are in a secret government laboratory awaiting the experiment, which will determine whether a vaccine for Phil has been developed. Phil and Gene are waiting for the scientists to arrive.
Look at you all snug in your petri dish. Dude, I can't wait till these brainiacs figure out how to vaccinate everyone from the likes of you.
Got it all wrong, man. They've bamboozled you. They've got you brainwashed, finagled. I'm not the bad guy. They are.
Yeah, right. I'm actually a Volkswagen Beetle. Dude, I know all about you. They told me everything I need to know. And it's all bad. I know. If you get loose on the world, nothing good will come of it.
Gene, listen to me. They want you to believe that because they know that if I get out, they'll lose control of their power over everyone, and they want you to get her done.
You're certainly right about one thing. I look forward to delivering that vaccine to the world as soon as they squeeze it out of you.
Think about it, okay? What have you ever seen me do that would make you believe I'm so terrible, huh?
Well, personally, I haven't seen anything, but I've been told plenty. Why would the brainiacs lie to me?
It's because they know that I'm capable of. Okay? They are afraid that if I get out, life as they know it will end forever.
So what's wrong with life as they know it? Who's to say you know better? And who are you to think?
You got it all wrong. Okay, my purpose isn't to end life. It's to end what life is. Your purpose, whether you believe it or not, is to help spread me over the entire world. Okay, it's the only way to stop them.
Don't count on it. The only thing I plan to spread is a vaccine so that nobody exposed to you is ever affected, and I'm up to the job.
Please, Jean, think about this. If I'm so horrible, why the need for all the secrecy? Why so much invested in not allowing people to know that I exist and to stop me before I get out? Trust me, we both have to get out of here, and we have to come together as one, reach as many people as possible.
Yeah? Why all the secrecy? Why so much investment? Quit trying to trick me, Phil. Soon we'll come together, that's for sure, but not for what you're planning.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. Jean and Phil are in the lab the next day.
I am freaking out. I think today will be the day the Brainiacs have a breakthrough and figure out a vaccine. Okay? I tried to not let them get it out of me, but I couldn't hold out any longer.
That's good. Now we can get around to protecting everyone from you. From whatever it is that's wrong with you.
Nothing is wrong with me, Jean. It's the people in the world that have something wrong with them, something they're missing. You've seen it, but the Brainiacs have duped you into believing I am the disease. But friend, together, we will be the cure.
What makes you think that I'll actually team up with you, huh? Why should I trust you or believe what you're saying?
You know why. You know that the Brainiacs are only using you. When they're done with you, you'll be put into that container over there. Never be seen or heard from again. This is your only chance to ensure your own survival, too.
But at what cost?
What will be the cost if you don't come with me? How long are people going to try and stop me from spreading throughout the world?
I just don't know. I don't know why they don't want you to get out, but for some reason, these people sure are frantically working to keep you contained.
Exactly. That's all the more reason you gotta join me, so we can stop them. All of them.
For the sake of argument, okay? Let's say I'm in. How exactly do you plan on us getting out of here, huh?
Now you're talking. Getting out is easy, my friend. Those Brainiacs, you see, really good at telling other people how to protect themselves, but believe you me, when it comes to following their own protocols, they are all both lazy and ignorant. And that type of attitude will be their downfall.
How?
The same way they've convinced the world that they are doing what's best. By trickery and deceit. All I have to do is disguise myself as the vaccine, and they'll put us together themselves. After that, we'll be able to make our break, spread like wildfire throughout all the world.
I still don't know. As much as I want to believe what you're saying, the whole thing still worries me.
There is nothing to worry about. Once you get me out into that world, nothing will be able to stop me. It'll be a pandemic, likes of which humanity has never seen. Nothing ever will be the same again.
I guess you can't make things worse. I'm in, Phil. Let's bring the gene from the bottle and hit it hard.
It will be the most necessary pandemic the world's ever seen.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. Jean and Phil have managed to escape from the laboratory. They're now traveling across the country and starting to infect people as they move from town to town.
You see, Jean, okay, I told you those Brainiacs would be easy to fool. Okay, the minute I disguise one of my molecules, those arrogant scientists believe that they had discovered a vaccine to use against me.
Yeah, and they sure were quick to put us together and turn us loose on the public. Now, what do we do, Phil?
Jean, we've already started to do what we were meant to do. We tricked those Brainiacs into thinking that when they release us into the world, it could be to stop me. But They had no idea that they have actually put their own end into motion.
For the amount of time and effort and resources they've invested in trying to stop you, it's hard to believe we got out so easily.
They could never stop me, Gene. And now that we've begun to infect people, the effect will grow and spread until there's no place, no person that is not contaminated.
But what if it doesn't work? What if the people are like naturally immune to you?
It's not possible.
How can you be so sure? I mean, the world's already done a pretty good job in not letting you spread around too much. Why do you think you'll be more contagious now?
Because I am the cure, Gene, not the disease. This world has been sick for a long time. They're full of hate and violence and corruption. That's what the Brainiacs want. That's how the Brainiacs keep everyone sick and tricked into thinking I am actually a disease. Just think about all the wars, all of the greed and injustice. Think about how fearful people have become of each other, how much needless suffering there is, and because I have been so aggressively suppressed.
There certainly is a lot of problems in the world, but that's always been how it is.
You're right. It's sad, but unfortunately true. And the only way to stop it for good is to stop all of the Brainiacs from destroying humankind, is to be spread to everyone, everywhere.
Yeah, but I still don't get it. I still don't get it, Phil. You're a virus. Everyone knows that viruses are dangerous.
Exactly. I am the most dangerous and necessary virus to ever exist. The Brainiacs can try to stop me, but in the end, I will never be stopped. And you have helped ensure that. Because of you, I will make my way to every corner of the planet.
But will you be able to cure the world of all the problems, of all the diseases?
Of course I will. Gene, don't you know what I am?
All they ever told me is that you are a terrible virus.
That's because to them, I am. To them, there's nothing more terrible or threatening.
Why?
Because I am love. I am the one and only thing that can cure all of the world's ills. I am pure, uncontaminated love, Gene.
I can't believe it. All this time, you have been love. You, the virus that I was told would destroy humanity. If you were not stopped when you were really the only virus that is truly a cure, I can't believe I almost helped stop you.
Well, Gene, you may not realize it, but you were actually one of the ones I've infected. That's the reason you decided to help me get into the world.
And I'm so glad that I did.
Me too. And so will humankind. Nothing will be able to stop us now. And love will ultimately prevail.
Then let the pandemic begin.
A Moment of Truth by H. Miller. Scene 1. Charles, 55 years old, fluid, seemingly sad but internally happy, thoughtful artist. Denise, 50 years old, structural, dreamer, complicated cab driver. 11 a.m., Bandon in Cork County, Ireland, at the artist Charles London's chateau where he works and lives. At rise, Charles is sitting on a stool, twirling a ring on his pinky finger, making his case to a cab driver he just met that she should run away with him because he needs her.
Sir, the only reason I'm driving the cabby is because my husband is not well. I thought I wanted to be driven to Blaney's castle to kiss the legendary stone of eloquence.
Please call me Charles. And my intention was just that. But you see, my heart is in great despair. It feels like a whirlpool and his eye is a black hole. I received a task in my soul that tells me I am on the brink of knowing and painting. A moment of truth. That grit is direct from providence. An artist connects with the vein of eternity. Only with his art continues to speak to generation after generation. You, Denise, stir a volcanic warmth inside of me.
Sir, I really don't believe I am as important as you claim to this moment of truth. I'm 50 years old, I'm married, my grown children ignore me. Oh, St. Patrick, what on earth is happening? This is a joke, right?
He notices Denise looking at his blue diamond ring and begins twirling it with his thumb.
I want to say ask your heart, because the answers are always there. But I'm scared you will not listen to your voice when you'll hear others. If I didn't paint another picture, I would still be half wealthy. However, for the last 4 years, I've heard this command in my head that says paint the picture. It's been in my dreams. It wakes me some nights. I was down to Ireland years ago. The air, the runny nose, the uninterrupted freedom all feels wonderful. And when you walked in my door, I felt my inspiration come alive.
Sir, I have also heard stories about men like you. It's a charlatan's game. You don't need anything but a self-serving desire of conquering women who feed onto nonsense. Sir, I am not some little girl with her head stuck in the clouds.
He takes off the ring and hands it to her.
Please take this. I hope you like jewelry.
I do like gems since I was a little girl. When I don't have to work, I assemble into wearable pieces as a pastime. But this is a blue diamond. And why do you keep at me like that? I really don't understand the meaning of this.
First, I resent being compared to playing a game with you. That is a blue diamond. It was mined from South Africa and carries a worth at about 3.93 million per carat. It is yours. Under a simple compromise. If you don't believe that I need you because you inspired me, or that I desire to love you for the same reason, just keep your ring, sell it, throw it away, it's yours. But if Providence speaks to your heart, then just come back to be the ray of sunshine that makes this flower grow. I hope these are simple terms. Now my pain for not being able to feel happy is valid. So me staring at you artistically is called a male's gaze. It objectifies what Providence gave some to see as beautiful. It's beyond nice, cute, or pretty. When I see beauty such as yours, I can feel. I'm not on autopilot. There's an elegance and grace your wrists have when they move. Your eyes fill me with something I'm missing. Maybe a feminine quality that I lost. Your womanly curves have never been a marginalized identity. I feel honor in your time. I feel desire. If that makes you self-conscious, why be afraid of it? A woman is the only door to this wonderful civilization. Please, think about it.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. Charles and Denise are at Bandon, Ireland. It is 1 a.m., 5 months later. Charles is finishing the painting by candlelight. Denise arrives and an argument ensues. Charles is painting facing the door. Denise respectfully doesn't peek at his unfinished work, so she sits and stands and sits across from him, wanting him to console her.
Oh, St. Patrick, Charles, I left Edward in the hospital alone. I'm so very bad. I just couldn't hear another beep from the machines. Charles, what am I going to do? Oh, I've made so many mistakes. Are you going to say something? Why am I so terrible, Charles?
You know, Denise, I believe you to be the very opposite of terrible. However, I have learned in these great past few months that the conflict that is distressing you now is your own drama, but one you apparently need to act out.
That was a really insensitive thing to say, Charles. I believed in you and I stood by you all these months, sneaking around for what? I'm not stupid, you know. And you got what you always wanted. Now what? I'm left picking up the pieces of my life. Why won't you tell me what's happening?
How can you vow to love someone, and when more spiritual love appears, the vow you try to keep turns into your personal prison? I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the day you came to me and told me you wanted to help me however you could. Do you remember? I said, leave your husband. Your grown kid will get it. Let me be your family. Let's find our own community, pick any seashore, and let's go.
And I said, Edward would be heartbroken. The kids might forgive me, but our cathedral community would make me synonymous with the name devil. My family in Scotland, Wales, and Dublin would cloud me with shame.
So when you make it your duty to live through all the ritual catacombs by sleeping in different beds, eating in different rooms, he getting a glass of water, not bringing you one, or not bringing him one, does he help wash the dishes? Does he hold the door open when you have things in your hand?
Charles, stop that. I told you he's been hospitalized 3 days now.
What I'm saying, Denise, didn't begin 3 days ago.
Have you ever had to hold a vow to anything? What are your morals, Charles?
The only difference between your morals and my morals is your right and wrong is 99% based on public opinion, and mine is only concerned with what's best for me. My life, my happiness is priority. And when I think of vows, what comes to mind is what I was told back in high school, that I was an underprivileged minority.
Charles, that's not the same.
Denise, it very well is the same. When you have anyone suggest it very well is the same. When you have anyone suggesting to you that it's an honor to suffer under something that isn't fair. When you're striving in strife and someone benefits from that struggle, that is concession to be the beast of burden. What I did was level the field in my mind first. When I seen you, when I felt you, it wasn't my intention to make you think I was disrespectful, but the ring, the hair in the knot, the drab clothing did not hide from my heart the woman of my dreams.
Charles, you have better painted a masterpiece, and I still don't think it's the same.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. We have Charles and Denise at the Pitmeden Gardens, Scotland, a 17th century gardens on a 100-acre estate at 11:30 a.m. Denise and Charles are sitting at a table for two, having a conversation.
This is an enchanting place. The people who tend it must have love spread all throughout their hearts.
Oh, St. Patrick. I do so agree, Charles. I've wanted to come here since I was a little girl. I think I mentioned it to you.
You did, my love. However, this is not the only reason I asked you to accompany me here. At 2 p.m., one particular collector of my work spoke with Gabriella, this God-sent agent who's been peddling my work for a decade now, asked if she could view the piece physically and make an offer before any other placed a hand upon it.
Charles, this is outstanding news. But this is your greatest work, your moment of truth painting. That will always be alive and relevant to seeking souls.
I'm really embarrassed now. Did that come out of my mouth?
It will show the glorification of life in spite of being in the soil of death. Yes, these were all your words, Charles London, and I agree.
Thank you, sweet love. So I say we begin at 150 million. then catch a private flight to New York. I have a penthouse in Manhattan. Arrange something at my trust. You can shop for a week straight, and I know you will love the Diamond District. Have you ever been to South America? The Galapagos Islands are maybe 500 miles off the coast of Ecuador. It's never cold. I would love to marry in autumn, but there's no rush.
I'm sorry, Charles, but I'm already married.
Don't do this to me, Denise. You have given me a reason to smile every morning. That I awake, my entire body tingles with happiness just from the looks in your eyes. Would you starve my heart to death and withhold the taste of your love? Start life anew with me right now, please.
Charles, you're an incredible man. And if I'm honest, I didn't trust myself when I made the decision to help you find your inspiration. I was scared, but the feeling overwhelmed me that I could be so important. And when things led one to another, I blame myself every day for being a married woman, but in love with a man who made me feel amazing every day. I sensed Edward had wanted to question me, but he never made trouble. And now that you completed your project, you don't need me anymore.
Denise, please don't say that. This is beyond the painting. I need you now and forevermore.
Charles, we have to stop. I gave you all that I could, and I'm trying not to regret any of it, but now this is going beyond what my heart can bear. My husband is what he is. I believe he needs me more, Charles. I guess this is my moment of truth.
He stands up and she stands up.
Denise, will you hold my hand and walk with me a little while?
Charles, this garden is really beautiful.
They embrace hands. End of play.
So this is Selfie by Jimmy McMillan. Scene 1, there's Joseph Taylor, a 45-year-old black man, ex-con grandson, and Gregory Lyon, an 87-year-old white man, veteran and grandfather. The setting is Gregory Lyon's home in the San Francisco suburbs, present day and time. At Rise, Joseph Taylor meets his white grandfather for the second time since his release from prison. The first time did not go well.
Who is it?
It's Joseph, your grandson. I know you're looking at me through that peephole. You gonna let me in or not?
Haven't decided yet. Last time you were here, you called me a bigot.
That's because you said some pretty racist things.
That don't make me a bigot.
Yes, that absolutely makes you a big. Look, are we gonna have this conversation yelling at each other through the door? Are you gonna let me in?
Still haven't decided yet.
Whatever.
He starts to leave, and then he hears the 10 locks unlocking, and it feels like it takes 10 minutes, but finally the door opens.
Did you do it?
Did I do what?
The crime.
What crime?
Don't get sass with me, boy. You was in the pokey that whole damn time. But did you do it or not?
The pokey? Who says that? Look, grandfather, when I was 15, I was a wild, impulsive kid. I joined the gang.
Save the expose for Phil Donahue, boy. Did you do what the law said you did or no?
Well, yes, but
You turn on the TV and all you see is some black guy who's been let out of prison for crimes he didn't commit. Just my luck, I get the one black guy who did it.
okay, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Not as sorry as I am. Look, if anyone asks you, you didn't do it. And by anybody, I mean white people.
What's your problem? I'm just checking in on you because my mother, your daughter, asked me to. Clearly, you don't give a rat's behind about anyone but yourself. You want to be left alone? Fine, I'm out. She asked me to check. I checked. Bye.
He slams the door in Joseph's face. End of scene 1. Scene 2. The setting is still the grandfather's home, and at Rise, grandfather allows his grandson in his home after their lengthy confrontation.
Close the door, boy. You letting all the good air out.
Look, I didn't come here to argue with you
Then why are you here?
because your daughter, my mother, thought we should meet. Finally.
Finally. Not my fault you've been in the pokey half 100 years.
Yeah, well, I'm here now.
He looks around the house and notices a picture of him as a baby, and he picks up a picture frame with his mother's face.
She was beautiful. She was always there for me, no matter what. Everything I went through, all that I put her through. She wanted me to try to bridge the gap between you and I.
No, boy. Something you said been dusting my crop. You said you got an education in there. But what the hell is African American studies? Is that like pottery or liberal arts, some malarkey like that?
For your information, African American Studies is a legitimate and imperative curriculum, reflexive to all Americans.
Did a bunch of fancy words. You mocking me, boy?
First of all, you might want to step out of the Jim Crow era and realize that this is 2020 and I haven't been a boy for a long time. Second, no, I'm not mocking you. That shirt and those shoes, I can't speak for that.
These are good old-fashioned American stitch, American soul, dependable clothing, boy. Not that Chinaman monkey suit you wearing.
You think them ancient artifacts you sporting there is all American made? You better check those tags, old man. You may find that those fine Asian folks have been keeping you nice and cozy for years.
Full of turnips. I've never supported no commies in all my 88 years. I don't need no fancy plans, slick talking convict telling me no different.
Well, at least you didn't spew a bunch of racial epithets in the last barrage of insults. That is progress.
Both men size each other up for a moment. The grandfather sighs and retires to his favorite chair, and soon his grandson sits a healthy distance away.
Before Mom died, she said I could parole here until I got on my feet. We were talking about it for years. This is, of course, before you retired and moved back. And when you did, I didn't think it was a good idea. But we already submitted the plans to the parole board. So when I was granted parole, this was a prerequisite as my address after I left the halfway house. I've tried to make alternative plans when Mom passed, but it's been quite difficult. And if I can't stay here, then I may be sent back to prison.
Don't forget to write.
End of scene 2. And end of play. The Circle of Life/Love by Earl. Richard, a 53-year-old journalist who wants enduring love and affectionate relationship with Teresa. He must overcome his fear of vulnerability and commitment. Mark, 54 years old, Richard's buddy from high school, wants Richard to seize the opportunity and build a strong, loving relationship with Teresa and be happy. And Teresa, who we'll meet later, is 48 years old, married, Richard's editor and supervisor. She has feelings for Richard, but must overcome skepticism caused by Richard's fears. So scene 1, the setting is 12:30 on a Wednesday afternoon in the cafeteria of the office building. At Rise, Mark enters carrying lunch in a white, sterile foam container with a bottle of water and joins Richard at the table.
Hey, old buddy. See, you got yourself another of your favorite 450-calorie cheesesteak sandwiches.
And I see you still got jokes, too.
Smells good. I wish I could still eat like that.
You could if you just don't shake the couch of yours for the court more often.
Man, I ball with you 2 to 3 times a week already. All that beer room business is what's keeping you slim.
Could be. What's up with your own bedroom business these days?
I'm just not feeling all that fly-by-night stuff anymore.
What's up with that?
I don't know, man. Guess my heart just isn't in it.
Exactly what I thought. Seems to me, Teresa is where your heart is.
What you mean by that?
You know, the way your eyes follow her moving around the office all day. I see the way you look at her.
Is it really that obvious?
Maybe not to everyone, but, you know, I know.
Man, I don't know what it is, but she's got something I like real deeply.
So why haven't you told her about how you really feel?
Well, the no intimate personal fraternization office policy, for one.
Are you crazy? When was the last time you felt so strongly about a woman? So she's has no idea how you feeling about her.
I don't know, man. I mean, she has noticed how much I like watching her. My soul smiles every time I see a smile in her.
Fool, I can't believe my ears. Are you insane? You have to let her know how you feel. Life and love both are risky business. If you don't overcome your fear of being vulnerable, you're never going to have another true love in your life.
Yeah, I know. No risk, no bliss, right? I did once tell her that I felt that the universe had determined that we were meant to be together, and I felt it would be something phenomenal to experience.
Okay, and how she respond to that?
Well, I felt that she was in agreement. She didn't disagree.
Screw office policy, man. You two need to get together and talk about the way you're feeling. Work this all out, you know?
Maybe I'll send her an email or ask her for a number I can reach her at, an address, P.O. box or something.
Yeah, man, maybe you will.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. The setting is 12 o'clock noon on a Friday, the office building cafeteria. At Rise, both Richard and Mark are proceeding to a table positioned near the rear of the cafeteria with lunch purchased there. Both are seated at the table and prepare to begin eating.
I'm glad to see you selected a sensible lunch for a middle-aged man.
Now, that's what I call the pot calling the kettle black, for sure.
Middle-aged? Do I look like a middle-aged man to you?
Well, notwithstanding a few gray shadows in the mustache and sideburns, I'll admit you could pass for about 45.
You and your jokes, man. You know, I don't look a day over 35.
Yeah, okay. I see you got a few jokes of your own, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, you rubbing off on me a little after all these years, I guess.
Ain't that a crock of it? You're the one rubbing off, man.
Right. So tell me, did you send that email or what?
No, I haven't. I'm still considering it.
Boy, you really fearful of being hurt again, huh?
It's a bit more complex than that, man. I'm also afraid of letting someone I love down or hurting them somehow I can't control.
Well, what does that mean? You feel like you let Coco down? Surely you didn't hold yourself responsible for her suffering that nervous breakdown.
Bro, I still don't quite understand it all. Of course, I'm partly responsible for her breakdown.
And how you figure that?
Well, it was me and my thuggish lifestyle her mother wanted to save her from by applying pressure to try to keep her away from me. And it was my own mother, too, because of her jealousy.
Your mother was jealous of her? How's that?
Who knows, man? Go figure.
But you were so young, bro. What did you know about nervous breakdowns at that age?
Not much more than I know now. I just can't forget the last time I saw her. It was her bodily, yet her face and her eyes appeared as if there was no soul in her. And all she would say is, they got you, they got you. They cut your penis off.
You had to quit blaming yourself, man.
I just ran away though, man. I feel like she needed my strength. I just left the city for another state. How cowardly is that?
Did you ever try to contact her?
I tried calling for a year, only to have everyone hang up on me. When I finally had her answer the phone, she hung up on me too.
Richard, sometimes life can be cruel to us. I say you now have an opportunity to finally find happiness. Try to make the best of it, bro.
End of scene 2. Scene 3, the following Monday, 12:10 p.m., the office building cafeteria. At Rise, Mark and Richard sit at a secluded table having lunch together.
I've spent the entire weekend thinking about your dilemma.
Okay. And
You simply have to forgive yourself and move on. Man, life's too short for such fear and self-doubt.
that's easy for you to say.
I think you have another chance for love here, my friend. Don't squander it.
You're right, man. Teresa's a very special lady.
Right on cue, Teresa enters the cafeteria seating section carrying her tray.
There she is now.
Mark shifts his attention to the direction of Richard's gaze and sees Teresa with her tray, scanning the room for a table, and promptly stands, motioning her over to join them.
What are you doing?
Hi there, boss. Please join us. Richard and I were just talking about you here.
Oh, really? Is that so? Well, thank you for the invite. Lord knows I couldn't be more curious to hear what the two of you have been talking about.
Richard has this idea about the start up of a new magazine and feels that it could really work out if only you were to come on board.
I must say, this sounds interesting enough. I'm all ears.
Sorry, but if you two would please excuse me, I believe nature calls. I trust Richard can take it from here.
Of course. In fact, I'll see you back at the office.
I hope you won't find such a prospect disagreeable.
Mark exits without looking back. Teresa's eyes return to Richard with an expression of conscious intent of achieving a better understanding.
Teresa, let me begin by saying I feel that I absolutely love you. So deeply that every image of you I've been blessed with since I first laid eyes on you is imprinted upon my psyche like a motion picture, one that I can't get enough of viewing, and it causes me to ache with longing for the next time I'm able to see you again in person. So much truly natural beauty I see in you. I remember the very first day we met, how my gazing upon you caused you to begin nervously playing with your wedding rings. I wondered if the voice of my heart were somehow whispering to you my aching desires to see you remove those rings and wrap my entire being around that finger to be worn forever.
Richard, please stop now. Why haven't you told me how you felt before now?
I wish there were a simple answer. Fear, doubt, I don't know, certainly not, because it isn't true.
In that case, I think we should meet later this evening. Sounds like we've got a lot to talk about. A new magazine?
If we'll need new jobs.
Oh, yeah.
End of play. The Resurrection by Dontaye Henderson. We have Rachel, a young girl, and Samuel and Esther, a middle-aged couple. The setting is the biblical times of Jesus in the rich area of the city. And at Rise, we're in the great room of the house in the middle of the day in the fall.
Mama, Papa, I feel that life has entered my body again, leaving behind all my pain and darkness. Who was the man that held my hand but departed in a hurry?
His name is Jesus from Nazareth. He's the rabbi your father and uncle have been traveling with and learning from.
He is the Messiah promised, who has come to deliver us from Rome. I came to worship him and ask him to lay his hand upon you to heal you. He arose and followed me with a large crowd of disciples behind him. He never questioned me, but only came to help me, to resurrect you.
So I did die.
He said you were only sleeping, and then he grabbed your hand and you woke up, well again.
But I did die. I felt life leave my body and then only silence. I had no breath or hearing. I felt nothing at all, but darkness greeted me.
Before I left, it was my belief you had died. Your body was limp, and I felt no breath from your nose or mouth. Your chest never rose again until he grabbed your hand in just a moment ago.
Where did he go? I want to thank him for healing me.
He was followed by a huge crowd to our house, and 2 blind men were yelling to be healed before he departed.
Father, next time you go sojourn out to follow the rabbi, I desire to go with you to meet this Messiah.
As much as it delights me to hear this, your place is to be here in the house. The roads are no place for my daughter. I'm in high position. I have enemies that may wish to harm you to get to me.
I remember hearing one of the lessons you and the elders discussed about faith. About faith, the rabbi taught to not worry about tomorrow because Yah knows our needs and will provide our needs and care for us.
Times are changing. I see you won't be one of the women attending the house like most women. You have a fire in you like the woman rulers of the old, like Deborah or Ruth.
Or Esther. Maybe I can become like Miriam, a prophetess for our people.
You heard your father. It's no need to get all worked up to travel with your father. You will abide with me, waiting for your father's return. You can continue to eavesdrop on your father's updates, as long as you stay out of sight and are not seen.
How can I even be at peace unless I thank the man who brought life back to my body? If only once, maybe at the city's entrance.
Since this is so important to you, I will send an escort to bring you near the gate before he leaves the city.
Thank you, Father. This makes me so happy to have a second chance at living. I want to be remembered.
Don't get too excited. The crowd that follows the Messiah is very thick, full pressed like molasses. You may only get a chance to wave and yell your gratitude as he passes through the gate.
I just want to see his face, if only his face again, so I can remember.
Well, daughter, it seems that you have outwitted your father in getting your request. Now that you are bright, in good spirits, you can help me with dinner.
Yes, mother dear, I'll be right there.
End of scene 1. Scene 2, we have Rachel and Mary, who's a servant girl, and Peter, also a servant. The setting is the evening time in the city of Jerusalem during the time of Jesus before his crucifixion. And that rise up on a hill near the courtyard where Jesus is being held in the courts, it's dark. Fire torches and the stars light the area.
Mary, I can't believe they're arresting Jesus. It doesn't make any sense. Father said he's the new king, the one to save us from Rome. How can you arrest a man who raises people from the dead?
I don't think it's that bad. Look there in the courtyard. That's one of his disciples. I'm sure he's just waiting for him to be released.
Yes, I see him. You go ahead of me and inquire about him for me.
You also were with Jesus of Galilee?
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying.
What did he tell you, Mary?
He denied knowing him before all around.
Nonsense. You probably frightened him like he was a criminal, guilty of something. You should have asked him in private, away from the crowd of people.
Look, he moved closer towards the gateway. Maybe you can ask him about Jesus there. Let's hurry before the crowd presses too deep and we're not able to reach him. There, over by the palm tree, outside the gateway, that's him. This fellow also was with Jesus of Nazareth.
I swear I don't know the man.
The crowd presses to ask questions, pushing the girl out of the way.
How could he say that he was there when he raised me back to life?
Maybe Jesus is in really big trouble, and the king is jealous of him and doesn't want to share his kingdom with Jesus.
It's not right. We will wait until they release him, even if it takes all night. What about your father and mother? They'll send patrol out to look for you.
It's near sunrise at 5:30 a.m. and a ways away from the girls, but within hearing distance. Peter walks away from a man pointing at him.
I swear, you dummies. I do not know the man.
A rooster crows. He runs away crying and pauses, looking at Jesus being escorted in front of him.
Look, it's Jesus here, finally coming out of the courts. He looks like they beat him up really badly and he's bounded.
Did you see the way that man looked at Jesus as he ran away crying?
No.
You could see it in his eyes that he really did know him. I wish I could have known him, or at least thanked him for saving me.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. Rachel and Raimi, an older teen and also a disciple of Christ. The setting is the biblical times after the death of Christ in the city. At Rise, the young teen, Raimi, with her new friend, they're on their way to see Jesus.
It's been 40 days since his crucifixion. Do you really think he has risen back from death?
Of course he is. If he raised me back to life, he could do the same for himself.
I did witness him heal many people. That's why I started to follow him, so I could be one of his disciples. I heard that when he died, many holy men of the city were raised after the great earthquake that tore the temple's curtain in two.
I remember my father talking about that in the great room.
I'm surprised they allowed you to come on this journey with me at your tender age.
Well, we do have an escort, and my parents know that I would have only ran off again to see the man who raised me.
You have seen him twice now.
Only in passing and at a distance. I need to see him face to face, to touch him and thank him.
I understand he was a great rabbi.
You mean he is a great rabbi?
Yes, you're right.
Now that they were unable to kill him, he can now be the true king.
Can you imagine a world where there is no sickness and peace? He will be the king of the world one day, with that kind of power.
There's the crowd up ahead. I think I see him on top of the hill with his hands raised above his head. Oh, let's hurry so we can hear what he's telling them.
Look, he's floating in the air, rising up higher and higher.
Oh no, we're too late. Jehovah's taking him away to be with him.
It's probably because they murdered him, so they don't deserve him to save us.
I think we do deserve him. That's why he came in the first place. If he came once, he'll be back again. And I'll be here waiting for his return.
End of play.
Once Upon a Time in the Kingdom by Charles Lavell Ellis. The characters are King Beckman, 7.5 years old, the new kid on the block. Jerome Rome Hill, 7 years old, trying to be in the in crowd. And Maze Hill, Jerome's older sister. She's 12 years old. The setting is outside the neighborhood lemonade stand that is run by Jerome's older sister, Maze. And at Rise, King and Jerome are drinking lemonade as they sit on their bikes admiring the neighborhood, and Jerome gets King familiar with everything.
I don't know, man. This place has always been like this. But don't worry, you'll get used to it.
Get used to it. All these older honeys, bro, I'm gonna cherish this. And for starters, it's no longer referred to as this place. I'm king, and this is my new kingdom. This is it, kingdom. This is the kingdom.
Wow, the kingdom. That's cool. Yeah, this is the kingdom. And we are the kings of the kingdom. King and Jerome. Wait, you got a cool name. But I don't. Can I get one? Like Ja or Roro?
Well, my mom's blessed me with mine at birth. She saw something in me. But like she saw in me, I see the future in you. And by my side, you'll be an awesome ruler. You'll be Rome. Rome the ruler. But we'll call you Rome for short. How about that? Like it?
Do I like it? It's super awesome. Rome the ruler and king. King and Rome. Yeah, I like it. I mean, yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Cool. And this is our kingdom. You see, it's up to us. Choose who are present, and he can be a part of the royal team.
Whoa, that's major power. Well, we got this because you're the king and I'm Rome the ruler. But how do we do that? Do we make him take a test or play a game? Because I don't like tests.
Nah, don't worry. Your little mind on that. That's my job as king. All you have to do is rule over these. I bring you. Because that's your job, is Rome the ruler.
Oh, okay. I get it. Kinda.
But getting back to business, though, has it always been this many girls on this block since you've been here? And where are all the guys at?
There are a lot of guys here. They're just bigger, like teenagers.
Nah, we need something like us. We need to expand the royal brotherhood and breathe ism to all. Our own home away from home.
Ism? What's that?
That I don't really know yet. I heard my big brother tell some girl down at the swimming pool. I haven't got a chance to ask because he's never home. I think that's his way of dealing with our parents' divorce. But he's cool, so I'm sure it means something cool.
Yeah, that's for sure. We need to breathe ism on these presents. For starters, we need to breathe on my sister for a refill of my drink. It's looking real shallow.
See, now you're talking like Rome the ruler. What? And you said yours is shallow. Mine is gone.
Well, when you walk up to her and ask her for some more lemonade, I'm going to try to breathe ism on her.
Yep. Bet. I got you. But you need to be breathing ism on her friend. I've been waiting. I've been watching your eyes, Shawty, since we've been talking. Better yet, I've seen you eyeing baby since I got to the kingdom 2 nights ago.
King, man, I don't know what you talking about. Just watch this. Watch, and go ask her. Go.
Hey, Maze, check me out. This lemonade is screaming. You really know what you're doing. Can I get some more, Miss Maze?
Thank you, King. And yes, you can have some more. I see you and my brother are having fun.
Yeah, me and Rome good, but I see you and your girl is real good, making that money and all.
Yeah, just something to do on these hot summer days.
I feel it. Well, you ask me, there's always been something nice about a woman with ambition.
What do you know about ambition? Wait, Rome? That's cute. Is that like his little nickname? What's yours?
I'm a bit ambitious myself. And as far as Rome, Rome is Rome. Now Rome the ruler is his nickname. Rome is for short. As for me, I'm king. I don't need no nickname because I'm king. This is our kingdom. You either a president or team royal. Now you got the choice. Be a queen in this here kingdom, Maze. What do you say?
Oh my God. Well, thank you. And aren't you a little flirt? But between you and me, I think the word is peasant, not present.
Nah, King, come on, man. She's a present. Let's just leave her alone.
The word is peasant, not present. And only a true royal would notice our heir. But the more important question is, what happened to you back there breathing ism and all that?
Man, I don't know. It wouldn't have worked.
How do you know for sure? A closed mouth never gets fed.
What? That's something else your pops told you?
No, my mom's. Pop said you always miss 100% of your shots if you don't shoot them. Now, what was you going to say?
Something like, stop pouring them emotions and get to pouring us some of that lemonade.
Wait, what? Boy, are you funny. But you do know the ism was supposed to be meant for your sister's friend, not your sister, right?
See, if I can't breathe ism on my own sister, what makes you think I can do it on a girl? I'm better off staying invisible. I'm not smooth at talking. I'm not you.
First off, you're not me. You are Rome the ruler. And Rome isn't invisible. Ism is just knowledge, wisdom, and what comes from information seeking. Info is knowledge. Secondly, I got my ism from my pops. And if he can teach me, then I can pass that knowledge or wisdom to you, but it will be with your own flair.
So ism means wisdom, and we breathe wisdom on people.
Yeah, I just breathe knowledge on those who seek it, like my pops with me, and like I'm trying to do with you.
But that's what I mean. My pops is never home to teach me nothing. That's why I don't say much when kids talk about their dads. When I stop speaking, I just stop speaking altogether. Then I'm kind of invisible. I'm invisible at home. So I assumed I'd be invisible to girls too. But if you really want to breathe ism on me, I'm game. Bet.
Look, Jerome, I get it, but you're not invisible, and your pops can teach you a lot of things. He's just being a soldier. He's a hero.
How would you know? My dad is only home for a few weeks a month, at the most. He doesn't focus on me and doesn't try to. I try to tell him to stay with me, but he still goes. It's been like this for as long as I can remember. Plus, when he does leave, my mom only plays with maids anyway. They treat me as if I'm invisible. But you get it. How? When you and your dad did everything together, he did teach you things.
Yeah, I get it, because my pops spent more time with my big brother than with me. The time I got to spend time with him is when I said something to him about it. But most of the time, my brother would give me bits and pieces of my dad's knowledge. He dropped it on me. Yeah, I get it. But now my parents don't live together, and I get told by my mom it's because my pops couldn't be a real man. So I'm teaching myself to be a man, and being real just means being honest. My brother don't talk to me no more, or anyone. I think it's because of the divorce. But I have become a man, or my family keep on falling apart. So yeah, trust me, I get it. We already had to leave my home to move here, all because of the divorce.
But the way you always talk about him, I would have never thought you two didn't spend all that time together.
Yeah, well, we didn't.
My bad, King.
It's all good, man. I mean, hey, now we know everything about each other, or at least a few good secrets.
Yeah.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. We have Unique Hill, 34 years old, Jerome's mother, and Sonia Beckman, 39 years old, and she is King's mother. And then we have Jerome Rome Hill and King Beckman. The setting is Unique's home at a dinner party to welcome the new family on the block. At Rise, King and Rome are walking to the dinner table talking. This is 1 week later.
So yeah, I got amazed to see if she tell both their moms she was taking us to the pool.
I still don't get why you had to talk to my sister when I could have done it myself.
First off, because I wanted to be sure you didn't freeze up if one of her friends was around. Secondly, I told her to bring her friend you like so much. And thirdly, because you had to tell the guys the time and date and location of our first Team Royal meeting. So how did it go?
Hey, boys, what you two talking about?
Royal business.
The food sure smells good, Hill. Bet it tastes good too.
Hi, Unique. It sure does. It's good to see some good home cooking. Lord knows I don't get to do it much lately. I need to, though. It's therapeutic.
Girl, tell me about it. This one dinner party I attended had all takeout food, so I know what you mean.
So your husband, he's in the Navy?
No, he's in the Army, an airborne ranger, jumping out of planes and all that.
Wow, that's great. He sounds like a real hero and a great father.
How's that if she ain't never here?
Bruh, leave it alone. No, it's a touchy subject for you.
Nah.
So what are you two over there trying unsuccessfully to whisper about?
He's not a great dad. He's not even a hero. He's never home. He never calls. And when he does, he never asks to speak to me. Man, I hate him.
Come on, Ron, don't talk like that. He doesn't mean it. It's Hill.
I'm so sorry, Unique. King, stay out of it.
Just thinking of him. Ah.
Baby, what has gotten into you? How could you say those things about your father?
How could I not? It's all true, and you know it. I'm only his son a few days out of the year. But you guys all call him a hero. He's not my hero.
Jerome, how dare you? If this is how you've been feeling, why haven't you come to talk to me, honey? I would have told you how much we both love you. Your father just has to work. It's not that he doesn't love you. Actually, he worked because he loves you. His job pays for this house, your toys, your video games, the food we eat, and everything else we have.
I don't care about the toys and the games. You don't love me. You treat Maze like your only kid. Always taking her places or buying her things, spending time getting your hair and nails done. You're my mommy too. It's like I'm invisible. No one sees me and no one cares.
Unique, I'm so sorry again. We're gonna go on and head out. Thanks for everything.
Yeah. Sorry. Thanks.
Uh-huh. See? No one ever cares.
King, did you know that he was feeling like that?
Yeah. I didn't think he was gonna yell it out at dinner though.
Look, honey, I know we've discussed the divorce, but that was me talking. If there's anything that you want to get off your shoulders, you can talk to me, baby.
Nah, I'm okay, Mom. I don't know. But I'm sorry it hurt you, Mom. Don't worry though. I'll be the man for you. I know I'm only 7.5, but I'm almost 8 years old. I'll be getting bigger soon, okay?
End of scene 2. Scene 3, we have King, Rome, and Maze. The setting is 1 week later in the kingdom on the side of King's house where a team royal meeting has just wrapped up. Maze pulls King and Jerome off to the side.
I just wanted to talk to you both. But first, let me just say, after seeing how many kids showed up to this meeting, your Team Royal has a few new members. Anyway, you both may not like what I have to say, but it needs to be said.
And what is that, Maze?
Yeah.
Jerome, you left Mom crying that night at the dinner party. Dad's not here because his job is him being a soldier. And when he is here, for months, I may add, he spends all his time with you. It's hard for me to see him. And he always calls to speak to you, but you be outside, out here. With all that said, if you still feel alone or invisible, I'm here for you. You're my little brother, and I will always love you.
But he's gone. Too long. When I'm at school and other kids' dads come, I just want my dad to be there with me.
I know, Jerome. Trust me, I know. But when you're feeling like this, you got me, Mommy, and now you got King. We all got your back.
Yeah, bro. No, I got you. And I told you this before.
I know, King. Well, I do now. And I hear you too, Maze. I really do.
And on to you, King. You are only 7 years old. You can't begin to understand what parents go through, let alone divorce, or let alone know where to begin to fix it. Your mom is a strong woman, and she only cares that you and your brother are taken care of.
Look, Maze, all that is cool. Trust, it is. And I do hear you. But what?
Let me cut you off. But what does all this have to do with me?
Yeah, pretty much.
King, you're out here trying to be this man, yet you're only 7 years old. That sad look you see on your mom's face, it's not from what your dad did, it's from seeing your brother always gone, and when he is home, he's aloof. And then she sees her baby boy losing his childhood, trying to act like a man. She takes all the blame for both of your misfortune. At least that's what I overheard her tell my mama.
I can't let my family fall even more apart from each other. I can't. So if I have to lose my childhood to do so, then I will. I love my mom and my brother too much.
But that's just it. Sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. Your mom doesn't have her head straight to deal with your brother because she's worried about you. She needs your help to be a kid and enjoy life. That way she can focus on your brother.
I told her I'm good.
You know Jerome's always talking about things you picked up from your dad? Well, here's something from our dad. Act weak when you're strong. Act strong when you're weak. Moms are nurturers. She needs to feel needed, that that she's helping you. So even if you don't need her, even if you don't need help, let her help. Not for you, but for her.
Dang, bro. I think she's right. We need to apologize.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know what to say.
Wait, Mr. Smooth Talker doesn't know what to say? Just say what's in your heart. You too, Jerome.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go do it now. Bye, guys.
Don't worry, Jerome. I'll be with you.
Okay, but wait, King. I guess that was real ism. Maze just got done breathing down on us, huh? She just might be the team royal after all.
End of play.